Is leisure a privilege or a right? Well, the clear answer is leisure is a privilege. Leisure is a reward or activity that we get to experience in our free time. Usually it takes time or costs money. Unfortunately, not everyone has the time or money to experience leisure. The book Pastime says, leisure is a prize available to qualifying people. Sometimes the qualifier is having enough money to pay for certain forms of leisure. Other time, it's a guilt-free sensation that, by the time the weekend is here, we have worked hard enough that we can take some time off. To take a leisurely bike ride, you need to afford a bike. If you enjoy making pottery, you need to be able to afford a day at a pottery place. Shopping can also be a form of leisure, and it's pretty clear that you need time and money for that. Even a relaxing day at the beach can take time and money. As a privilege, leisure is something that needs to be earned. It's not something that anyone can just experience whenever they want. Leisure is not distributed equally to all people. Therefore, the people who experience leisure will tell you that leisure is a privilege. I disagree with the argument that leisure is a privilege. I believe that leisure is a basic human right. Isn't it believed that our natural rights as human beings are to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? I think that leisure is a large part of that happiness. Leisure is not an activity. Leisure is the feeling that we get when we enjoy an activity. It's the lightness and happiness that comes from the leisurely activity. I agree that it does take time and money to do some leisurely activities, but isn't the most important part of leisure the feeling that you get from it? Not every person can afford to go to an amusement park, but that doesn't mean that they can't experience leisure. I watched a TED Talk the other day, and it talked about the importance of play. The keynote speaker talked about his experiences around the world, and how every kid found a way to experience and play, even though they couldn't afford rubber kickballs or soccer balls from the store. Kids made balls out of socks, yarn, and skin from animals. It's not the experience of the kickball that defines leisure. It's the joy that kids get while they're playing, no matter how they got their equipment. Overall, I think leisure should be viewed as a right. Some people might have the motivation to participate in certain leisurely activities, but they face some kind of constraint. A constraint is something that inhibits a leisure pursuit once an interest in it has been formed. That does not mean they can't experience leisure, they just can't experience that leisurely activity. Unfortunately, not everyone can experience every leisure activity out there, but people need to start looking for leisure in other ways. Leisure can be found in so many different shapes and sizes. Leisure does not discriminate against race, gender, social class, or disability. There's always a way to find leisure. All you need is motivation to do an activity, and you can find it. Every human being has the right to be leisurely. Leisure keeps us alive and keeps us happy. Leisure is not and will never be limited to anyone. It cannot be contained. It is a basic human right.